Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris, and on today's video we're talking about a fragrance from the house of Dior. So I have to say, I really was thinking about not making this video ever because what more could I add to this actual fragrance? Because it's been reviewed by everyone. I think if you are a fragrance bro or you love to watch the fragrance bros on YouTube and TikTok, then you obviously already have this fragrance in your collection. What's the need of me giving you a review for? It's really not something I wear on a day-to-day basis. It's actually one that I don't wear at all, but I do own the bottle. I do think it's nice, but at the same time, I like something with a little bit more pizzazz, that savoir-faire, that je ne sais quoi, if you will. And this one itself is just not delivering any of those things. And really none of the Sauvage line is. Because obviously they're mainstream, everyone knows what they smell like. It's kind of like getting a Toyota Camry or a Toyota Corolla. Nothing wrong with those cars, nothing wrong with this fragrance. It's reliable, it is going to be tested and proven to work. It's just not something that I want for myself. So this fragrance was launched by François Dimanchy, which is the old in-house perfumer by Christian Dior. He was fantastic for the house of Dior, even though at the end of his career he just went haywire, if you ask me, because he started to axe fragrances, he started to launch new ones, and then rename the entire La Collection Privée of Christian Dior to La Maison Christian Dior, then back to La Collection Privée, and then he just started to cancel this one and launch that one and chop that one, and it was just a mess. I mean, it could have been, Bernard Arnault, because he's obviously the owner of Christian Dior, but it's hard to say. Obviously, with him being the perfumer, he has creative direction of the actual parfums division, not the beauty, just the parfums. So this is one of his last launches. The notes for this fragrance are going to be, I'm going to rate them here because I have them listed, I don't know them off the top of my head: nutmeg, cardamom, cinnamon, grapefruit, lavender, licorice, amber, patchouli, woods, and Haitian vetiver. So we don't see ambroxan, although there is a slight ambroxan note in here. It's not very prevalent. I don't even know if it's ambroxan. It could just be bergamot, and it's kind of more of a caramelized lemon, if you will. So it's not necessarily going to be that metallic-y type of smell that you get from Sauvage, because ambroxan just has that metallic smell to it. It's done very tastefully and done very well. It's just this one itself doesn't have that note. So I am going to say something really quickly about this fragrance, and I just don't want anyone to take offense to it, because everyone has their own taste and preferences in fragrance. And obviously, doing reviews on YouTube, I see quite a bit of people take what I say personally. If you don't like my review, then that's okay. There are other fragrance reviewers on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube that will align with your opinion. I'm just giving you my opinion. And if you agree with it, you agree with it. If you don't, you don't. But this fragrance, in the opening, and this is not me trying to be shady, really gives the car refresher vibe. So what I mean by that is, if you've ever washed your car and gone to, I don't know, let's say a Advanced Auto Parts or a Walmart or a Target to buy a car refresher for your vehicle, they have those little Christmas tree ones, and they have different smells or flavors, whatever you want to call them. There is a black one called Black Ice. That is what this fragrance smells like upon the opening, and just the opening. As the fragrance starts to dry down, it starts to develop on your skin, that does slightly go away, but that is not necessarily exclusive to this fragrance. I have smelled that on other fragrances like Lafayette Street by Bon No. 9, so it's not particularly exclusive to this scent. I think because those car refreshers have really taken what we know of masculine scents and really implemented it into their actual car refreshers, it kind of mimics these high-end fragrances, and this is obviously a high-end fragrance, so I think that's what happened here. So it's not me being shady towards this fragrance. I think it's done very well, very tastefully. It's just, if you are like me and you kind of reference everything in your brain to see what the fragrance smells like, you may get car refresher up top. As the dry down happens, I have to say that the fragrance actually gets really, really, really good. So we start to get a lot more contrasting elements with the fragrance itself. So we get beautiful cinnamon. Now the cinnamon in here I thought would be a lot more luxurious. It's not. It's kind of just cinnamon. It's your standard generic cinnamon smell that you would get anywhere, but it's cinnamon. I don't know how best to describe that without being a little shady here. It's nice, it works well with the fragrance itself. There's just no nuance to this note. It's kind of just, it is what it is what you get. Then we get lavender, which is a very traditional men's fragrance note, and it works very well here. It adds a lot of character to the fragrance itself. It adds that old world charm. We get that bergamot, we get that cardamom. The cardamom kind of plays into the old Sauvage formula. We get also that patchouli, those woody notes. A caramelized kind of lemon note is in here as well, even though it's not listed. Overall, the scent is nice, it's luxurious, it's expensive as well. So it's grabbing everything we know from the original formulation, the Eau de Toilette, and making it a little bit more premium, a little bit more expensive, a little bit more nighttime. I think Sauvage is very casual, even though when it launched, I think it could have been worn as day and night. Now it's more of a casual scent because it's obviously mainstream, it's super popular. This one itself is the nighttime or the fine dinner version of that. So it is a nicer version, a little bit more premium version, a little bit more elevated. So because of that, I do see why it's popular. Now the packaging, I have to say, is a little, I don't know. I don't see the inspiration over it. The lids, I always thought, were kind of a copy of the Privé line, and in true they are, of the actual Sauvage collection. This one takes a different shape to the entire rest of the collection itself. It's shorter, it's stumpier, the box is a little bit more premium than the other formulations, because the other formulations just have a standard unicarton box you just pretty much toss out. So with that being said, I mean, it's a nice fragrance all around. I do see why it's popular and the hype for this fragrance. I just don't see why it's overly hyped, because I prefer the original. I think that if I'm going to get a fragrance that is going to kind of scream mass appealing, but it's going to be loud and contrasting and bold and have some character, the original formulation is kind of hard to beat, in my opinion. Overall, I think this fragrance is fantastic. It has great longevity, great projection as well. It's obviously going to be luxurious, deeper and smoky, sophisticated and refined. But is it worth the money? I will let you decide down in the comments. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more fragrance related content. Until next time, take care. Bye.